Hey, Randy Joe here, and today I've got a fairly big announcement for the channel, something I am excited to share, which is that for those who have asked for it, those who have asked in the most recent videos I've released, I have gone ahead and created a Patreon, which I'm very much excited to focus on in the coming months and further develop alongside the channel. This will, of course, not affect the main channel uploads. We, of course, are keeping the reactions going on the channel with both Bjork, Pink Floyd, and new albums coming out as they come. With that in mind, I did have people asking for full unedited reactions of these albums, and with that I thought, hey, people have been asked for a Patreon, people want the unedits, well, that's where they're going to be, is up on the Patreon. So let's get into it. I'm going to break down the tiers and let you guys know what there is for those who are, very keen or interested on my content. With the first tier, I'm calling it Tier 1, or the track tier. That will just grant you absolutely nothing. Sorry about that. That's actually going to be a thank you tier, which is really just a $2 tier, simply saying thank you for the uploads on the main channel, and you want to support me, but you don't want to do too much of a bid. You don't want to necessarily be giving away too much money to myself. But with that, keep in mind, you will not be getting any further content. It is just a simple sort of small thank you for the channel. And I do appreciate, even if you want to do as low as $2, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, I have trouble believing that anybody would want to give even $1 to me for the stuff I've been doing. I mean, at the end of the day, I am a guy who just likes to talk about music and all things art. But moving on, if you do want to support a little bit more, want to go a little bit further, and you want those unedited videos, then Tier 2, aka the mixtape tier, is the tier you're going to want. Again, full access to the Kate Bush series I have done so far, as well as the Bjork series and Pink Floyd series, and any album, henceforth. I also plan to check out my hard drive and see if I have any previously done videos from the channel that I could release unedits from. However, I have cleared some of those out, so I'll see what I could do. But the whole Kate Bush series will be there, as well as Bjork and Pink Floyd, for the price of $5 a month. Yep, $5 a month is a subscription. You will be provided in return, a thank you, of course, as well as those fully unedited videos, except for, of course, where I edit the intro and outro. That's just to cut up and trim any mistakes I make. But other than that, the actual listening portion of the video will be fully unedited, unless, of course, there is some personal interruption that I, of course, would not feel comfortable sharing. But other than that, the full reaction is there, promised, every time, for $5 a month. And I would greatly appreciate if you want to join that one. But let's say you want to go even further, which again would be pretty crazy, but you want to go even further than $5. Maybe you want to do $10. That's going to be Tier 3, aka the album tier. This not only grants you access to the previously mentioned unedited videos, but this will also grant you access to bonus content that will be more exclusive, focused on reacting to music videos, which we will jump into Kate Bush's music videos, as well as Bjork music videos. We're also going to do albums that aren't necessarily part of the official studio album tiers, maybe live albums or sort of collaborative projects, things that wouldn't necessarily be seen as a main discography focus. And I'd also like to cover albums that might be a little bit more bizarre and are out of the realm for a main artist discography, such as Bjork's unofficial kind of weird debut she had as a child. That's what Tier 3 will focus on, is bonus content in that vein. And again, that one is $10. I have to stress it. It is $10 USD. And then last, let's say you're a big fan of the channel. Let's say you've supported me for years, and maybe you want to go that extra mile and really give the most out of my Patreon. Then you're going to want to probably go ahead and do Tier 4, the $15 tier, which we are calling the full discog. Now, Tier 4 will grant you access to all the previously mentioned tiers content, that unedited content, that bonus sort of album reaction content, the music video content, but it will go beyond the music. It'll go more directly to the personal side of who I am, Randy Joe, of course. And if you like what I have to say about art and more artistic things in general, or more you're just interested in who I am as an individual and my personality, tier 4 will grant you access to that, because on that tier, we're going beyond the music, and it'll be more focused on kind of just general things that I might be interested in at the time, things I want to talk about. There you can expect things such as, for example, I like to go thrifting a lot. We'll do thrift hauls, where I will show everything I have thrifted in my recent thrift hauls. There'll also be book content, where I will be doing some maybe small book reviews, or at least just talking about some books I am currently interested in, because I do have some book-related content I might do for the main channel at some point, but this would be kind of like a teaser, or at least a behind-the-scenes of that. And speaking of behind-the-scenes, this tier will also grant behind-the-scenes content of maybe ideas of what's to come for the main channel, maybe kind of testing the waters, or at least floating ideas. Tier 4, the $15 tier, is kind of a bold and big kind of just, you like Randy Joe, you like who I am, you're interested in what I have to say about life, art, where I am at personally. Maybe you want to see some bloopers. It's really just the whole 9 yards, the full discog. And of course, with tier 4, the most luxurious kind of tier you can get, you are also going to get a special thank you on the main channel at the end of every single video. I will shout you out, and I will put your name on the screen as a special thank you. So again, that's the $15 tier, the full discog. But that does it for the main tiers as of right now. Of course, some of these could change and alter in the future. Maybe I will add some more kind of concepts to these tiers. Any extreme bonus content that isn't music related would be in tier 4, and anything else that is music related beyond the unedits would be tier 3, the $10 tier. So keep that in mind when you are selecting a tier if you are interested in my Patreon. But yeah, that does it for the Patreon. That does it for the announcement. I will be linking it, of course, down below. You can go ahead and check out my Patreon and select a tier if you are so inclined to do so. And again, if you do, huge thanks. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not doing this channel for money. It wasn't really my main goal, but I've had people ask how they can support me, and this seems to be the best method to do so. So again, greatly appreciated. It really means a lot to me. I just enjoy making content, and I enjoy, the kind of community we've built here so far. So again, it's just a huge thank you from myself, from the bottom of my heart. I truly do mean it. It does feel like a blessing in a way. Even though my channel is quite small, it feels so grand to myself. So thank you, sincerely. As always, my name is Randy Joe. I appreciate you watching, and I'm signing off.